The most valuable commodity I know of is information. Wouldn't you agree?
Ah, Jack.
Jack to the best!
Hi there guys, welcome back into another session on this beautiful Tuesday, just coming up towards 9:30 in this European London session. Little bit of a steady day so far, little bit of a quiet day yesterday as well on BTC. Few of the alts putting in some nice moves. Just scanning the news markets, not too much happening here, so what we're going to do today is have a look at some data points and decipher where we can possibly go from here. But nice to see the Fed cutting rates last week, getting everyone very, very bullish. Do you long your longs, or do you be a little bit more cautionary here, okay? And wait for any dips for a little bit of risk on. We're certainly going to look at that today with you. So a couple of things to look at. Going to have a look at BTC, ETH, Sol. And we're going to have a look at WIF as well, because WIF putting in some nice moves following on from Popcat and a few of the other memes. So, yeah, some good moves getting pulled. Are we due for any pullbacks yet? Let's have a look at that together and see what we can decipher. So yesterday, well, actually, the last 2 weeks have been really, really good green weeks, haven't they? And then towards the end of last week, I think it was a very, very good area to take a little bit of profit and just review what was coming up in the coming days. Sunday actually offered a few dips, which was nice if anyone was playing the weekend price action. Today, seeing signs of exhaustion, certainly seeing signs of exhaustion on BTC back to business, seeing signs of price exhaustion, but supply absorbed for now. It has actually, the supply up here in the 64, 65k zone is not actually as heavy as it was last week. So what would I like? Well, we get what the market gives. But for me, any quick violent pullback to demand would be very much appreciated by the crypto gods. Thank you very much. And I've just posted some key levels there. Go check out the Twitter if you would like. Okay, but yeah, a few nice things going on at the minute to give people some risk on feeling. This was a nice tweet. Yeah, this is ridiculous about the inflation and BTC and house prices. Absolutely madness. Yeah, but a lot of talk about money supply. I think liquidity in the markets is coming back a little bit. Crypto and the legacy markets as well. A lot of chat about M2 money supply coming back to a nice area like it was back in 2020 and other historical periods as well. What is the M2 money supply? Just off the top of my head, go and do your research, but just off the top of my head, this is the Federal Reserve's estimate on available cash people have got. Okay, so that's cash, bank deposits, checking accounts, so short-term cash that is spendable. Okay, short-term spending cash. Nice to see it come back. Okay, it just means people doing a little bit better after we've had a little bit of a dubious to say it, isn't it, but a little bit of a recessionary period. Okay, just after COVID and the like. And the money supply is coming back. People are willing to spend a little bit more. Have they got a bit more free cash to invest? A little bit different on the M1 money supply. Top of my head, I just think the M1 excludes a few things. I think it's checking accounts, savings accounts, but I don't think it includes already available cash on hand to people. But yeah, just thought I'd point that out. 488 P-star, I do like a nice 488 P-star. So yeah, not a lot going on yesterday. We're still basically at the same price we were yesterday. Did a live Discord in the TRDR Discord yesterday, and was saying that to the guys. Look, we've risen up to that 65k level. We've hit some more supply. We've come back down, but we're pretty much trading at similar prices we were last week. I don't like to trade in those zones, to be honest. I have to say, I like bigger expansions out to give me more edge in my entry. I don't mind hedging short positions up here one bit because I'm not seeing much follow through demand yet, but we'll go and have a look at that anyway. Okay, so let's go and have a look at a few levels in the trading view. Charts first, quick top down then. Daily chart here, very, very nice. 2 weeks, uponly.com, just coming up to this order block here. Higher time frame, point of control a little bit higher at a nice classic tier level around that 67k. So if we do break this area here, which we have got some order blocks in the order flow defending still right now, if we do break that area, wicks into that zone, I would certainly be looking for another hedge position. Basically, why? Because it's a lower high. Higher time frame is still a lower high. So, sentiment wise, I'm not bearish. I hope prices go to 100k any minute, you know, because it's going to look great for your spot bags. But as a trader, let's review the price action. Have we got any bearish divergences? Yes, we do. Are we hitting more supply? If we wick up there, you know, and then, yeah, let's hedge positions. Maybe you just get a nice thrash back, 10, 15% couple of days, drop, and then you go risk on again. Okay, let's have a look at the 4 hour. We see where we are on the 4 hour there. Okay, so we've just created this order block up here at this 65k level. You just see that, you know, that range POC there from the higher time frames, and our weekly open is here. Okay, a weekly open just in that 63.5 level. So you can see price has really not chopped much at all, really, to be honest. We're just kind of trading in this zone, aren't we? And I don't like to trade in there. If I was an absolute fresh pair of eyes today, like I try and do every day, I would leave price action alone and I'd wait to come and wick up here again, or just bring it back down and we'll go and catch a bid. All right, but hourly chart, you can see it's just been absolutely uponly.com. That was our last derivatives trading, really good risk on area for us the other week. Uponly.com certainly started to take profits up here, and we're in the same position. So weekly open hanging around up here, and there's a few levels there if you want to mark them, guys. So value area high, I know we're not particularly ranging, I've said that before, but it's still nice to mark these areas of interest. 4 hour point of control down there with a big order block where we're seeing 59k. Interesting, because when we go to look at the TRDR console, that's our biggest order block in the order flow as well on the spot markets. Okay, monthly open still hanging around there as well, 58.9. So any major violence down here, repeat that 3 times because it would be really nice and it's good for trading. That is certainly a nice area to look at. Monthly open, order blocks, 4 hour point of control. Do we get it? Not sure. I would have liked it by now, but here we are. Maybe we have to go higher first, you know. Okay, so quick look at ETH. I'm just going to drop to a 4 hour chart, and here we are on ETH, looking very nice. Just expand that a little bit because ETH and Sol very similar, they have been. So yeah, okay, so value area high coming up there now. We can see these areas do change a little bit. Yeah, I won't spend too much time on this. It's going to follow BTC to a certain extent, despite the fact ETH BTC did probably hit some lows last week, didn't it? But again, keep an eye on these levels. If we get some violent pullbacks, point of control right down there at the 2500 level, that would be very nice, wouldn't it? Okay, so ETH coming up to some obvious resistance. Why do I say that? I'm not even looking at the order flow, just look left. Obvious resistance. Let's have a look at Sol. What's Sol doing? Similar thing. Let's just have a little zoom out on Sol. Similar thing on Sol, really, to be honest. It's still in this range. I'm sure it will get some kind of expansion out soon in the coming months. I think it's going to perform well because the higher time frame chart that we looked at last week is still very nice. You're just coming up to value area high now, some nice fibbed areas there, and an order block on the 4 hour chart. So Sol up to 152, 153, while BTC churns out some supply. Maybe ETH does as well. Rotations lower. I would always favour that as a trader. If it's just going to be uponly.com, then your spot bags are going to look really good, but it's not exciting for trading, you know. It's really not exciting. I like the battle in these zones, you know. I like the battle, I like the competition, and, you know, pull it back down and let's go again, you know. That's what I kind of like. Anyway, let's move on. Another chart I wanted to show you because it's been a little bit of a crowded chart, to be honest. Why do I say that is WIF. Let me just zoom out and just reset that a little bit. So WIF has been looking really good. If you actually, there's not that much history on here. If you go to a deck screener, it looks a little bit better. Let me just go to that for you. There you go. WIF on the deck screener, really good and still pushing up. I wish it would come back down. Why do I say that? I'll show you in a second. Okay, so WIF looking really good. It was pushing up at the start of the weekend, to be honest. And when it was in this zone, let me just go to a 1 hour. It's had a really nice classic tier back test here, hasn't it? When it was in this zone, I was saying to the guys in the private Discord, I was like, okay, this is starting to look really nice. But I hope it just comes down a little bit because it's a bit of a crowded trade. Let me just show you that there. So WIF, we're just pointing out to WIF, it was chopping in this zone here, as you can see, okay, and I was just saying to the guys, look, ideally a sweep lower today / Monday for best risk reward, take out any early longs with a wick, and I was basically saying it's a bit of a crowded trade, everyone's getting in on it, and that's absolutely fine if you're just trading spot. If you're wanting to get some derivatives or futures action on WIF, if your exchange provides it, then this is the sort of thing you want. You want to come down, back test that zone, absolute classic tier, hit these order blocks, then look at the order flow, and we got it, okay? Why do I hope it comes back down again? Because I didn't take the trade like an absolute cunt. Tom Dante on Twitter always says it's fine to talk about a trade, but if you didn't take it, then you're an absolute cunt. So excuse my language, but I didn't take this trade because I was trying to get some nice sleep and I missed it, and I'm not willing to chase price up in any way, shape or form. So I would like some violence back down, and we'll go again. Thank you very much. Absolute cunt for not taking the trade. Right, let's jump back in. But yeah, it's absolutely on fire now. Came back right down to that zone. If you were looking at the order flow in the TRDR console, it would have looked good as well. And we're pushing up. All right, so with that being said, what we'll do now is we'll go and have a look at some of the order flow on BTC and a couple of the others and see what we can decipher. Right, here we go then, guys, straight into the Bitcoin chart. And what are we seeing? That order block that we've had for a while now at 65k is still there. It's not much of a classic tier level, but you can't deny it. It's still there. It's on Coinbase, it's on Binance, and a couple of others. Okay, so something to be aware of is whatever your classic tier level is, this in the order flow is your level to defeat. This is your final boss of the last week or so. Can you crack it and move up? Or do we need rotations lower? Interesting to see there you've got a small order block just at that 62.5 level from Binance as well. Something of note, we're still not in a really heavy demand zone. If you just look at the aggregated order book depth here, we're in more supply than we are depth at the minute. Negative ratio, negative 34 a minute, so not too heavy, and that's why I tweeted out and said, look, the supply has been eaten to a certain extent here, but if you are to just float up coming from no demand, it's more than likely you're going to take an extra rotation down, I would say. Okay, to just be aware of that. But looking at a couple of exchanges on BTC, supply still present. Coinbase Pro, Gemini Twins are still, selling into this. They're getting rid of a bit of spot, and you can just see the other exchanges like Kraken are getting ready a little bit lower. Now, not sure if they're going to get a fill down there at 58, but it's just something to be aware of. Perpetuals market, always a nice one to keep an eye on. They've generally lost some bid depth as well, okay, and they're now defending 64.6. So just keep an eye on these levels, and your weekly open is obviously just hanging around there as well. We're just on the weekly open now, but yeah, bands are slight, so there's a slight bid coming back in the perps market, but general market depth not really there, and we can just see on the widget there that Bitfinex are selling into this as well. Right, just want to show you quickly the volume on higher time frame. Okay, so if we just go to a 15-minute volume on the Volume King template, we can see that the high open interest is sustaining this high level. I don't like to see that, so I'm not willing to get a further risk on up here whatsoever. I'm happy just to chill out and wait and flush this open interest. If you're familiar with this template, you're going to see the cluster of the open interest, the LS ratio, and the funding keeps spiking up as well. I've said it before, you can see the funding's absolutely in the green and red here. It's absolutely all over the place. Not too much edging funding whatsoever at the minute, but even on a 15-minute time frame, volume coming out the market, so people are selling a little bit on spot. We can see they've been selling a bit on spot, and your volume's coming out the market. Perpetuals, not really too interested. We can see that there. This is 15-minute time frame. Let me just show you a 1 hour time frame as we rise up. Okay, I'm not going to draw it like a nerd. Bearish divergences on spot, bearish divergences on perpetuals. Retail traders trying to get long, okay, in absolutely boring weekend price action while open interest is at these highs. I'm not saying it's a major recipe for disaster, but certainly for me as a trader, even yesterday, happy to chill with some hedge shorts from this zone and let price action stop me out or not. Okay, so that's BTC volume and open interest. Not too much to see on the liquidity chart really at the minute. It's still not doing too bad. So Ethereum, biggest order block was 2800. They've just pulled a little bit, but yeah, Ethereum's been doing well. You can just see it's trading. Why does that say value area low? That is value area high. Outside that 4 hour range, value area high, and it's trying to push on. Okay, so do we get some deviation and then back down into range? You can just see on aggregation here that it is in supply, so something to be aware of. Don't get too bullish on ETH at the highs. Same old thing, week in, week out. Every day, every month, isn't it? We go to the highs and people say, oh, this looks really good. And then we go to the lows and people say, this looks shit, it's going to 40 odd K. Well, why don't you let price go to demand at the lows and then say, this looks really good, it's in demand. And then when it gets to the highs and it's in slight supply, why don't you say, okay, I might just take a little bit of profit here and just see how the price action develops. Anyway, I digress. Soy Boy Sol, loads of perps interest here. This was an absolute beaut day trade, perps trade, if anyone caught that. Again, that was a Saturday, so I wasn't particularly keeping an eye on it too much, but I did see that. Really, really good. If you see in this on bigger assets, 7% day trade, really, really good. Yeah, if you see in this sort of thing on bigger assets, really, really people committing to the trade, big order blocks, aggressive bidding. Really, really good. You know, even you should just clip that 7%, take a bit of profit here, and then just protect what else you've got on there. But yeah, perps market coming back into action from Soy Boy Sol. Derivatives has been getting a bit more active across more alts, to be honest. Spot market on Sol, not a lot to say. It's not in the kind of supply zone that ETH is or BTC is, but maybe that's just slight lack of interest from, you know, this exchange in particular, Binance, on the spot market there. Okay, while we're at it, let's go and have a look at WIF, because we did look at the chart, didn't we? Okay, so yeah, WIF coming into a bit of spot supply now. You can just see on your ratios there. So again, I'm happy to chill on this one because I did miss the trade. I did miss this wick lower. So this is what we're looking at in the chart. So aggressive perps buying, there was spot buying, should I say, in that zone at a classic tier level. Said to the guys, I hope it goes and grabs lower. It did, and then you ran and gunned. I would love this to come down again, to be honest, because I'm a CUNT and talked about the trade and didn't take it. So I hope that comes back down, and that'd be a nice one to play as well. But yeah, quite a lot of the memes and alts are having good runs. Don't be surprised if you do get some violent pullbacks. I'm not saying it is going to come. It might be the case that you float up, confirm some areas, flip the resistance into support, and then you get some dynamic bid to push us on further. I'm not in favour of that because it's boring trading, all right? I'm in favour of it coming down, finding some demand, killing a few traders out the market, wiping the open interest, and then we'll go again. But we get what we're given, don't we, all right? So let's see what we get. Anyway, let's move on. Live in the US session a little bit later on. If you're new to this console, grab a link from below for a free trial. There's also the Academy sections in here for you with a lot of free content. I'm also just in the middle of editing some new videos. First one coming out will be on the order book overlay. So DK from TRDR has obviously got his Academy section on the order book overlay. We just wanted to go a little bit more in depth in video format and present that to you. So that is coming out as well. All right, guys. So I think we could be in for a good week. Generally, last couple of weeks, Monday and Tuesday have been very, very good for trade setups. Tuesday today, do we get something today? That'd be very nice, wouldn't it? Because I feel it was a little bit boring for me personally yesterday, because most of the entries were long entries that came on a Sunday when you're trying to chill and relax with the family and such. So yeah, a bit peed off about that. Happy to chill today again, and then just wait for better R&R entries. All right, guys, if you enjoyed the video, just give it a like and a share, trying to get them numbers up and just share a bit of alpha with everyone, really. We only really started these videos to share a bit of alpha with the TRDR console and hope that people get some good education from the order flow in here. All right, guys, so yeah, no alpha decay. Please share the alpha if you've enjoyed the video. We'll speak soon. Cheers.
I bet your margins are pretty nice and fat.
Let's not talk about my margins, by the way. Being nice and fat, that's a nice shirt. Do they make it for men?